Hello, friends, and welcome to the market report on Cointelegraph. I am your host, Benton, and we are joined again by our resident experts, Jordan Finiseth, Marcel Peckman, and Sam Borgi. Jordan uses his background in psychology and human behavior to spot emerging trends in crypto. Marcel Peckman applies his 17 years of experience trading derivatives, options, and futures to the crypto derivatives markets. And Sam Borgi is a business editor at Cointelegraph, where he brings a decade of experience in economic analysis and financial market writing. Fellas, welcome back to the show. We got a heated debate. What's going on this week?
Not much. Happy to see the crypto market a little bit in the green going on there. So we'll see how it's going. I know it caught a lot of people off guard, but that's crypto and the things are changing. So I'm excited to see how this goes.
I'm not as happy as Jordan. I don't think that bound 33 to 36 or maybe even 37,000 something to celebrate. But I'm impressed with, for example, Suzu from 3 Hours Capital. The guy was buying Ethereum $600 million just last month. And now he's saying he was caught off guard. He was surprised. He did not expect cryptocurrency to drop so much. So at least I'm not alone on this mistake.
Yeah, Zoo's a bit of a permanent bull, but I agree with a lot of his assessment. I don't think any of us saw the top. When you take a look at all the indicators around 69K for Bitcoin, nobody was really expecting it to peak at that point. Whether we had a proper top or not is anyone's guess at this point. But right now we are more or less trending sideways, and it seems like no one knows exactly where we're going to go. So it's going to be interesting the next few weeks to see whether we trend upward or downward.
Interesting times in the markets. I know Marcel is going to be diving into that a little bit later here. Super exciting show today. We're going to talk about what is the best NFT marketplace. And as you all probably know, if you've been tuning in over the last couple of weeks, we've reformatted the market report. And the way we're going to set things up today is each person is going to have 2 minutes to talk about their particular platform or marketplace for today. They're going to highlight why it is going to be the best marketplace to buy, purchase, or sell your NFTs. Once that 2 minutes runs up, members will have a chance to cross-examine the presenter and maybe even point out some of the flaws of that particular project. You all, the loyal viewers, we appreciate you all for tuning in today from around the globe, are going to have the chance to also ask questions in chat. We want to hear from you. Make sure you're chiming in, ask those questions. But at the end of the show, we're going to have the live poll to decide who is going to win the debate today. What is the best marketplace to buy, purchase, sell NFTs? So also, we're giving away the 1-month subscription of Markets Pro, and we're going to be looking in the comments today to make sure we're picking the folks that are asking the questions, making great comments. So if you have a thought, put it in chat. We're going to see those, and we're going to pull those up throughout the show. Also going to be answering questions along the way. So first things first, 20% off discount is in the description for Markets Pro. But we're going to bring you the weekly roundup. It's been a bloody week in crypto. And we're going to talk about some of the highlights after we run through the weekly roundup. So Danilo, run it back, my friend. Let's get this party started. is the McRib back at McDonald's? McDonald's was throwing some shade this week on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw that, but go ahead and like, subscribe. First, let's get the like and subscribe. If you haven't tuned in their channel, we're here Tuesdays, 12 p.m. The Market Report. Make sure you smash the like button, turn on the notifications so you know when we go live. Marcel is going to jump into some market stuff. He's going to walk us through what's happening right now. Is the sky falling? Or are we at the bottom and about to surge back up? So let's hand this over to Marcel to take us into the deep dive for the markets.
So the $1 trillion question here is, are we still on free fall mode, or was 32,900 the ultimate bottom for Bitcoin? Firstly, because that would mean a higher low from July's 29,000. But more importantly, to confirm that crypto markets anticipated traditional markets. So it's a reaction to Federal Reserve, it's a tightening movement, it's a macro stuff, it's not crypto or Bitcoin related. So that's the big question. So there's a huge difference from a 52% correction caused by the ETF rejection, regulatory uncertainty, Tether manipulation and fraud comments by the SEC versus general markets risk off caused by rising interest rates and fewer bond purchases by government. The truth is, I do believe it's a mix of both, especially considering that Bitcoin plunge, the downtrend initiated November 10, and the S&P, so the stock market, peaked on January 4th, so 2 months later. So a lot of people talking about correlation, but when we're analyzing the data, we can see that there's huge difference between crypto markets and traditional markets. So the first data I want to show you, Danilo, you can share my screen, please. So the first data I want to show you is the futures premium. So what is the futures premium? So traders need to put up money up front and wait 3 months for the contracts to expire. So that's CME contracts. That's not the contract that you trade on Binance, but it's the contract mostly used by professional traders. The CME and some other exchanges offer that. So they usually ask a premium between 5 to 10% to withhold settlements for 3 months. So whenever the premium is above 10%, those traders are bullish. Whenever this premium is below 5%, these traders are excessively bearish. A negative premium indicates that our market's gone to hell. It's make it or break it, so it's everyone for yourself. But this situation did not happen. So as you can see on the chart, on January 21st, the bottom for the futures premium was 4.5%, and it's currently sitting at 6%. So yeah, traders are not bullish like the 10% next to Christmas on December 25, but the professional traders are not bearish. So this is a good indicator for us. But more importantly, we need to compare Bitcoin with other risky assets. And in this case, I'm going to show you a Chinese auto electric producer called BYD. And we're going to check the chart against Bitcoin over the past 5 months. So as you can see here, the blue line is Bitcoin price. So you have the scale on the right side. And the orange line is the BYD, the Chinese auto electric producer. Its market cap currently stands at $90 billion. So it's a big company, it's relevant enough. And you can see that the similarity of the movements, it's really huge. So thank you, Danilo. So this tells us that Bitcoin is in fact trading together with risky assets. So whenever the Federal Reserve and the central banks of the world are printing $12 trillion out of thin air, its impact on every market, even cryptos, it's huge. Okay, so from my personal view, it's not sure if that we bottomed, but professional traders are cool with that. They are not bearish, and we're simply following riskier markets. And lastly, for the Ethereum fans, I want to show a last chart. Danilo, can you share my screen, please? So this is Ethereum dominance excluding Bitcoin. Okay, so you can see that it peaked near 50% in February, and it recently rebalanced to a 34% average. But over the past, since the peak, Ethereum dominance went down from 37% to 30%. And what's behind that? TVL, the total, thank you, Danilo, total value locked on smart contracts. Because Ethereum TVL peaked at 167 billion, and it's now near 110 billion, so a 30% decrease. Meanwhile, Terra, Phantom, Avalanche, they all went to $10 billion and over. So as long as Ethereum 2.0 keeps being postponed, it's definitely going to keep underperforming these other assets.
So I have a lot of questions for you, Marcel. And so we're looking at some of those charts. I guess my first question to you is this: is Bitcoin leading some of the more risky assets in the traditional market, or is it in the reverse where traditional risky assets are leading Bitcoin? What are your thoughts on that?
So Benton, if it's leading, it's maybe for a week. But if we compare like some of the assets like wood in the United States, it's peaked at $1,000, the apply sheets for wood, and it's down to like $400. So the peak of the wood price was before Bitcoins. The BYD, the Chinese auto producer, a week later. But I don't see Bitcoin as the leading indicator for risky assets. It's not because of that. We simply had the bad luck of SEC rejecting the ETF on November 12th. So it rejected the VanEck ETF and it started the downtrends. But it's not a leading indicator.
Just to keep it simple for what everybody's worrying about there. So it sounds like you don't think that we're headed for another crypto winter, like another 2-year crypto winter from 2018 to 2020. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think that the Federal Reserve and the central banks will want to increase interest rates over the course of 1 year or 2 years. It's like pulling out a Band-Aid. You want to inflict max pain within 3 or 4 months and then let the market rip off. That's what the Federal Reserve wants. They don't want to be inflicting pain over the course of 1 or 2 years. So I don't expect a bear market on Bitcoin because of general market conditions to withstand over 8 or 9 months, no longer than this.
So Marcel, I know it's hard to predict, but how many rate hikes do you think the Fed will get away with? Is it 2 or 3? I think the consensus now is around 3, but I don't think they can do it indefinitely, right? Because of the reasons that you mentioned. So how many do you think they're going to be able to sneak in this year?
Sam, if inflation continues at 10% and over, which I think it's highly feasible, they need to raise interest rates at least to 7%. And this needs to happen within 9 months. If it takes longer than 9 months, it's not going to be good for economies and not good for Bitcoin as well. But I don't think the Federal Reserve wants that. So within 9 months, we needed interest rates closer to 7% if inflation currently stands at 10%.
Very interesting.
So if a bear market happens, no longer than 9 months. That's the bottom line.
Very interesting. 2022 is off to an interesting start. I mean, I don't know what to think right now. I think everything is moving the opposite of what folks thought. So thank you for your insights, Marcel. Excellent points, providing some of the futures, stuff like that. All right, so let's get into this debate today, folks. This is why all the fans from around the world are here today. They want to find out what is the best NFT marketplace. And so let's get this party started with Sam. Danilo, if you want to run the intro, we can get this rumble on the road. Let's go.
All right, thanks everyone. So for me, my pick this week for the best NFT marketplace with the highest potential value is going to be Solanart. Just letting you know why I chose Solanart. It's basically a secondary market for NFT projects that lets users buy and sell digital collectibles very easily and at a very low cost. And as the name suggests, it's built on Solana. So that's one of the primary reasons why I selected Solanart. Solana is one of the biggest ecosystems in blockchain, not to mention one of the best performing cryptocurrencies of the past year. The platform has been designed to appeal to artists who want to showcase their work, grow their fan base, and ultimately get paid for their artwork. So that, of course, while also promoting Solana native NFTs. There's so many benefits and advantages of Solanart compared to other platforms that I really believe it's going to be one of the biggest marketplaces. It already is one of the biggest marketplaces, but I think its growth is going to continue moving forward. Solanart is built on Solana network, as I just mentioned, which has several advantages that other networks have not yet delivered. Low transaction costs, high speeds, high throughput, and of course, the ability to transfer Sol, Solana's native token, from wallets at a low cost. Despite only launching in mid-2021, 6 or 7 months ago, Solanart is now the 10th largest NFT marketplace by volume at over 350 million. So it's not just some abstract project that you haven't heard of. It actually has, like any other Solana project, actual uptake, actual usability. Unlike other platforms such as Nifty Gateway, where artists and collections are curated, whatever that means, Solanart lets users list and purchase NFTs on an open marketplace. So if you're looking to list your NFT and you actually want to gain traction for your collectibles without any kind of manipulation behind the scenes, an open marketplace is the perfect spot to do that. Solanart has already produced very popular NFT collections such as Degenerate Ape, Academy, Soul Punks, Aurori, and several others. Sol is one of the most widely used cryptos in the market, as many of you know, with a massive adoption rate, as evidenced by not only Sol's massive price spike that we saw in 2021 that many of us missed out on, myself included, but also Solana's Phantom wallet has seen massive uptake. Now it has over 1 million active users, and a big part of that reason has been the growth of the NFT ecosystem on Solana. Solana has the massive ecosystem, it has the community, and it actually listens to its users. On Solana, we actually saw some UX updates over the past little while, trying to make the platform more usable. So anything built on Solana, I think, has a major step up. That's my spiel.
Thanks, Sam, for your pitch on Solanart. So what we're gonna do first, I saw Marcel chomping at the bit here to ask his question. So Marcel, jump in first.
Yeah, Sam, a good show, good entertaining, but let's be honest with each other. Solana and FTX and Sam, they're basically the same thing. And FTX US has their own NFT marketplace. So why would companies such as Adidas, Gucci, or whatever use Solanart instead of using the FTX regulated NFT marketplace if it's the same price and the same network?
Well, because they want access to one of the biggest marketplaces. I don't think Solanart is going to be the only one, but I definitely think if you want access to one of the fastest growing markets on one of the fastest growing blockchains, with all the advantages of the throughput and the low transaction costs, I think Solana is going to be a very, very viable venue for that, and that's why Solanart has seen so much growth so quickly.
What about the network keep going down? Like, what if my NFTs get stuck on Solana, man? Like,
yeah, that's there's a lot of issues with when it comes to early stage development, and I think Solana has had that. So have other blockchains, but I think if you take a look at the development roadmap for Solana, the work that's underway, I see those issues being resolved in the future, especially as the platform becomes more decentralized, as Solana becomes more decentralized. I think you'll see a lot of these issues get resolved. It is an issue when it comes to the network downtime, but I don't think any of us are pretending that's not the case. We've had such a massive uptake on Solana that maybe the capacity of the network hasn't been able to maintain during those massive spikes. But I do believe as the network continues to grow and mature, we will see those issues resolved.
I mean, I'm the biggest fan of Solana, but when I meant buy, sell these NFTs, like on Solanart, am I stuck on Solana Island? Can I move these NFTs cross chain? Like, I guess, what makes Solanart so special and when it comes to like the broader ecosystem?
Well, through the partnership with FTX, there is cross-chain transactions between Ethereum and Solana. So there's that. But also, Solana, you make it seem like Solana Island is this tiny little island out in the Indian Ocean. No, so Solana Island is an actual continent, and it's one of the biggest. So I think if you take a look at the network adoption rate of Solana, you're going to see that it represents a massive growth potential. So anybody who wants access to a lot of the blockchain that solves a lot of the problems that Ethereum has, you're going to go to Solana. Ultimately, do you really want to bet against this ecosystem? You don't want to at least dabble your toes in it. That's what I think a lot of these different companies and NFT creators are going to be doing moving forward.
It's the network is centralized. I'm not speaking about Solanart. I'm speaking about Solana network. It has a CEO. It has its own group of developers. So If I had $500,000 NFT, I would rather pick some more decentralized network for that. Just my opinion.
Well, that's true. I mean, the Solana right now is more centralized, especially if you take a look at the Solana Foundation and how rewards are distributed. But I think as more projects build over time, I think you're going to start seeing more decentralization happen. So that's a fair criticism, but I think that there's a lot of growth potential there. The adoption is there. The market fundamentals are there. That I think you will start seeing more decentralization as the network needs to expand and move away from the foundation element of it.
We got a question here from Cersei. Marketplaces must be easy to use, and Solana is not very intuitive for conventional people. What do you say about that?
I think I can use it very easily. I think a lot of people can use it. It really depends on the learning curve. But for me, I don't have any. That's not one of the criticism that I've really come across when it comes to using the Solana ecosystem. I think it's actually quite straightforward. If you think Solana's hard to use, go to Polkadot or something, and
Yeah,
and then we can talk afterwards.
Do we have any other further questions for Sam? No further questions. Okay, Sam has stated his case. He makes some strong points, but I think there's also some valid concerns with the greater ecosystem and how this project may be associating with that ecosystem. And so for our next segment here, if you haven't liked or subscribed, go ahead and do so now. By the way, I want to shout out to William Latta today. This guy is bringing the heat. He is just throwing in some great comments across the board. I think we pulled up a few of them along the way. Go ahead and chime in and chat. We're going to be watching and monitoring the questions, and if I see any good ones, I'm going to go ahead and ask them. But for this next segment, I am going to jump in here and talk to you about one of the greatest NFT marketplaces. So let's go ahead and get into Rarible. Danilo, if you would please take us away. All right, folks. The best marketplace for NFTs, hands down, is Rarible. This was a community-owned NFT platform to launch back in early 2020 and is a tried and true marketplace that has continued to evolve the growing world of NFTs. Call me a little bit biased, but I have been on the platform since its inception and minting NFTs and love how they took a page from the DeFi playbook. They issued their own governance token called Rarible. This allows token holders on the platform to control changes, to vote in the ecosystem, and to control the overall direction of the project. This was also the first NFT platform to empower its community in this way, which I find truly unique because I'm all about the community. When I look at platforms, I want the community to thrive, and that's what Rarible is doing. A couple other quick features that I want to note is that Rarible has secured funding from CoinFund, which is a New York-based blockchain investment firm. Another feature that I think makes Rarible the best marketplace is that they have YNFT, which is an NFT-based insurance from Y-Earn Finance called Y-Insure Finance. This is also insurance that's underwritten by Nexus Mutual. And so currently there's about 274 million in trading volume, which isn't the biggest. But I just want to make this quick comparison. When cell phones first started, there was Nokia and Motorola, and those were around for a while, but then came along the iPhone. And so I'd look at Rarible as the iPhone of NFT marketplaces. And I'm going to show you why, because I'm going to walk you through the website. I'm going to compare all three of these platforms today and show you how visually appealing when you see Rarible, it just sucks you in. And when I look at like a website that's a little bit janky, like Solanart, Rarible just separates itself from the pack. It's like the cream rises to the top, folks. So I think at the end of the day, you also have to consider interoperability. And so with the power of Rarible, you get that cross-chain interoperability between Tezos, Flow, and Ethereum. Everyone knows Ethereum gas fees suck. So why not have the other options of Tezos and Flow? What can your marketplace do for you? And so that's why I think Rarible is the best marketplace in the game. But real quick, Danilo, can we just do a quick screen share before I get cross-examined and absolutely just hit the softballs out of the park here? So this is Solanart. Let me just brace yourselves, audience. If you're prone to seizures or things like that, Please refrain from looking at your screen. I mean, just look at this. This hurts my eyes. I mean, ugh. But now let's get over to Rarible. Look at this. This is like a social platform. It's just smooth. And look at this. It's got so much stuff going on. It's giving you the top collections of the day, what's trending. These are the hot bids. Look at how this is categorized and organized. It's just so tight that it makes it fun to go around and bounce around the website, purchase the NFTs, sell the NFTs. And I'll give it to Theta. This is ThetaDrop. Their UI is pretty good. I like it. It's super sleek. It's clean. It's definitely not Solanart, but those are the three websites just to give you a comparison.
So Benton, why you keep showing that those smart and beautiful and well-designed screens? I have a more important and pressing question here.
Yeah,
we constantly hear about false verified accounts on Rarible. So should some entity have this power to define what is valid and not? And what about a multinational company like Adidas that have branches and offices all over the world? How can you verify one and not the other?
I mean, so like this is an even greater question, Marcel, because I mean, you could say that you could ask the same question to Twitter. You could ask the same question to any other platform with fraudulent IDs. Sure, it's a problem, but I think because of the way Rarible is set up, that the DAO will have to institute security measures for that. And so again, that's going to come down to the community to self-police itself, where you're not going to have just one person at the top of a corporation who wants to lay down the hammer and say, hey, we need all these security measures. You know, there's going to be a little bit of that experimentation phase where you got to go through these evolutions. And so that's what I see for Rarible in the future.
What's gonna really attract people to like, and even for both Solanart and Rarible, I'm like, what's the pull for these people? They're just a platform like, it's because we're on this network, we're on Solana, or we're on this, so it's better. I'm like, why is it anybody gonna choose that over OpenSea or some of these other marketplaces? Whereas, you know, ThetaDrop's got its whole like video streaming side. So what's up with that?
I think when you boil everything down, it comes down to one thing and one thing only. It is the community. And so you have this strong, just bedrock of artists that have been on Rarible for about 2 years. Even though it isn't the biggest platform like an OpenSea, I think it's the strongest, most tight-knit community inside of the NFT space. So that's what I think the offering is for Rarible. And you're right. I mean, I think you can get too tribal with the chains where it's, oh, this is an Ethereum-based marketplace versus a Solana-based marketplace. And so that's why I think you're seeing Rarible do that, where they've added in Flow, they've added in Tezos. Hopefully they start expanding to other networks as well, where this could be potentially one day the one-stop shop, even though it isn't currently.
Well, Ben, you were talking about, you know, what can your marketplace do for you? And then you bring up the word interoperability again. And then you bring up Tezos. Like, is this is the value driver, that we're interoperable with Tezos? Like, is everyone here? This is the same Tezos project that's fallen off, you know, the past couple of years. You know, Tezos till your Bezos never really worked out for any of us, right? So is this is this what you're hanging your hat on, the interoperability angle?
It's not just about Tezos, though. It's about Flow as well, which, as we know, is a growing, thriving ecosystem. And so, yeah, I will accept that knock, that I don't understand the logic behind them wanting to partner with Tezos. So you bring up a great point. I will wear that one on the chin today. And I would like to see them expand to other ecosystems like BSC, like Polygon, Phantom, even AVAX, and start to branch out to those communities. But yeah, I will say that is the one blemish of this ecosystem, is that they are so closely associated with Tezos. I'm not personally a big fan of that, but what can you do? You know, it's a DAO governed community.
Yeah. Remember that when you're voting, guys. That's all I'm saying. So
I have one last question, Benton, if we have time.
Fire away, Marcel. Fire away.
We've seen projects such as the NBA Top Shot, create their own marketplaces. So what's stopping those companies to create their own marketplace versus using Rarible or another platform? What's the benefit for them?
Well, it's to cut out, I guess, any kind of middlemen or fees associated with selling on the platform. And so, yes, if I wanted to go start up my own Amazon books tomorrow, I could potentially do that. But am I going to be willing to put in the work, the time, the effort, the investment, the resources to do that? Probably not. So why not just come to a place like Rarible, where it's already created for you. You already have the ecosystem, the community to market yourself in, and have fun with it. I think that's what Rarible is all about, is they take a fun approach to the ecosystems, which some of these other platforms just clearly do not. They're Solanart just looks like they came straight out of a Nintendo game from the 80s.
Not a bad thing. I love the
Well, yeah,
I
to
think
be
I've
fair,
lost
like, have
my
you seen
kids.
some of the NFT projects out there? Like, pretty, like, they're not the most high graphic thing. So people aren't necessarily looking for high graphics. And
Very
Agree.
true. Well, that's going to do it for Rarible. So make sure that you are chiming in chat with the questions, comments, because we have Jordan coming up next, and I really want to pepper in some really good questions here. So make sure that you ask them in the chat. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Cointelegraph. Go ahead and do that now. And by the way, I do want to also remind our audience that these are the expressed opinions of ourselves. This is not sponsored content. These are the ideas and opinions of each individual that you're seeing here on the panel today. Go ahead, like, subscribe down there. We love you all. Thank you for chiming in. I'm looking at the chat now. Jordan, why don't we jump into your segment now? Danilo, can you roll us into that?
all right, the moment everybody's been waiting for, my choice for the NFT marketplace with the most potential is ThetaDrop. ThetaDrop operates on the Theta network, a blockchain network specifically designed to deal with video streaming that allows users of the network to contribute computing resources in exchange for rewards. The Theta project originally started with a focus on online gaming for popular games like Counter-Strike and Fortnite, and has since evolved into a full-service video streaming platform hosting channels like NASA and the World Series of Poker alongside large communities of gamers and video bloggers. This opens up a wide range of opportunities for future NFT projects that can appeal to the gaming community, movie fans, crypto influencers, musicians, and artists alike, who will also have a stage or channel where they can promote their NFTs and interact with the communities. Purchases on ThetaDrop can be made using Theta Fuel, the gas token of the Theta ecosystem, or users have the option of making purchases with a credit or debit card. And the platform also currently has in the works the ability to purchase with BTC, ETH, or USDC. Not currently rolled out, but that's in the works again. And the Theta network is also Ethereum virtual machine compatible. So in the future, NFTs that exist in there can go out into the Ethereum ecosystem and any other EVM compatible network as well. ThetaDrop also has plans to release a native T-Drop governance token, which is coming up here on February 1st, with an airdrop being distributed to early users of the marketplace and Theta Fuel stakers. So if you've made any transactions on Theta Fuel in the past or ThetaDrop, you'll be getting 40 T-Drop tokens for each transaction. So that's a give back to the community. As Benton mentioned, they love the governance tokens and airdrops. So the fees on Theta are minimal, and Theta and Theta Fuel holders have the option to stake their tokens on validator or guardian nodes to earn T-Fuel, which means that transactions can kind of become free. If you get free Theta Fuel for staking, then you can use that for transactions in the future, or you can use those Theta Fuel to purchase NFTs in the future. So there's lots of ways for people to kind of build within the ecosystem and gain build their NFT collection and increase their cash flow. With a community and marketplace that supports all manner of creators, from well-known artists like Katy Perry to crypto influencers and popular gamers, Theta is an ideal NFT marketplace for the crypto faithful who also want direct access to an entire ecosystem complete with video streaming, music, and gaming. Mic
Excellent
drop.
presentation, Jordan. I think everyone's quite stunned because, I mean, I haven't really heard of ThetaDrop until you brought it up in today's show. Now, I see in the chat, we got a lot of Theta fans in here. And I noticed this week you had a lot of Theta fans on Twitter commenting on the post. So you got this crowd rallied up today. Sam or Marcel, do you want to jump in here first with your first question? Marcel, take it away. Go ahead.
So my first question for Jordan is the platform even ready? And if it is, what are the incentives for large projects to migrate to ThetaDrop?
The biggest incentive for people to migrate to ThetaDrop is to have the access to the Theta community and the whole Theta TV ecosystem with video streaming and a whole community that they can access and promote their projects to. And yes, even though it's in beta, the marketplace is alive and you can go and purchase NFTs on there. And I even like the auto auto purchase where say a new drop is coming up, you can pre-fund your wallet and sign up, so you don't have to be there trying to sign up for it when it gets released, and it'll automatically put you in line and try and bid to get you the NFT on new drops, so you don't have to sit there at any random time during the day and try to purchase it against a bunch of other people.
You know, Jordan, you mentioned how ThetaDrop evolved, and then it evolved to become this more NFT oriented marketplace. For me, it just seems like it may have just pivoted to what's trending. I just never really saw ThetaDrop as being this NFT focused ecosystem. Could it be that, you know what, we're seeing this big thing, it's trending, NFTs, NFT buzz. Let's just kind of pivot in that direction. That's kind of what it seems like to me.
Well, it might seem like that, but when you have like videos, if at the beginning they started with video gaming, and that was one of the biggest like ins for the NFT community. How do we get in-game video items out of them so people can monetize them? So to me, that they always had this in the plans. It was just waiting for the whole cryptocurrency ecosystem to move forward. Like, why wouldn't you include NFTs with video streaming and gaming? Or why that? To me, that doesn't seem like such a leap for them to like, oh, this is completely outside of what we thought we should do, but let's go there. I think that just they moved that in as NFTs became popular in the whole marketplace, but I think that was always a plan, in my opinion.
So, all right, Jordan, I think I have a question about the actual like utility of the marketplace. It seems like this is just like every other marketplace. What, in your opinion, really distinguishes ThetaDrop from other ones out there?
As I've said, you got just a marketplace. ThetaDrop is connected to the Theta ecosystem, which is a video streaming platform and whole community of people. You got Katy Perry coming on. Lots of other places they're going to do in the future. You got World Series.
But I'm looking at the website right now.
Why is anybody going onto your guys' sites? There's nothing else besides the marketplace.
It's NFTs. It's the same thing.
With Theta,
just because it's affiliated,
I can see some of my favorite crypto YouTubers and influencers, and I can
I have YouTube.
With NFT.
I'll go to YouTube though for that.
Hey, take a look at this. This
amazing.
But
YouTube isn't blockchain based. Aren't we here for blockchain based stuff? That's what we're here for.
Amazing blockchain innovation, video streaming. That's really is that?
Yeah, I like being able to earn money watching the videos that I watch. I can watch the same videos on Theta that I can watch on YouTube, but I earn money for it. Sorry. I like to earn money and not just waste
Brave browser also allows you to earn money while streaming your videos on YouTube.
Yeah, so I use Theta on the Brave browser and double up my earnings. Yeah, you're talking, Marcel.
So the big appeal,
I have one last
is
question
there any cross-chain? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, if Theta is Ethereum virtual machine compatible, yes.
And Marcel, question.
Theta actually originally launched on Ethereum, then they launched the Theta network, the blockchain, but it is EVM compatible.
So can I use a MetaMask?
Yeah. You can go to Chainlist. I think it's chainlist.org. Say, I want to add the Theta to my MetaMask, and you can. I promise you.
It seems too confusing. I don't know. I just
all those other
I'm lost already. I don't know.
Wait,
Marcel, what's your question?
The other picks in the past, Benton, because they weren't all on Ethereum.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you had.
I could have gone Velas NFT marketplace.
Okay, so Jordan spoke about the advantages of being blockchain based. So I just want to know how decentralized the ThetaDrop is. How does the government token X and we having voting right now? What's being decided? What's decentralized about it?
The TDrop token releases on February 1st. So they're going to be airdropping it, a large portion of the supply to previous Theta and Theta Fuel stakers and people that have transacted on the ThetaDrop marketplace. I haven't gotten deep into the weeds about what the Theta governance token, the ThetaDrop governance token is going to allow, but it's a governance token for the platform. It's going to allow people to get involved with the community.
Okay, but right now, there's no government involved. It's semi-centralized or centralized. Is that it?
Yeah, the governance starts on February 1st.
Okay. No more questions or further.
My last question: has there been any kind of like security audit on ThetaDrop? What's kind of the background of that?
I'm not too sure on that specifically. I haven't looked up that, but I'm sure I'm gonna assume there is. I know what they say about assumptions, right? But Theta it's a pretty well established project.
They do
I
say
wouldn't
that.
imagine that they'd be out there having like no audits whatsoever. And again, I've used ThetaDrop for several tokens, and some I just went there the night before, pre-funded my thing. I said I want to get this one, and the next day it's like, you purchased this NFT, good job. So I haven't had any problems with it, and I haven't heard of any major security issues. So
just a lot of rug pulls, right?
No, not compared to any other network. What rug pull?
About that one.
Name it.
Shots
Name
fired.
a rug pull. ThetaDrop. Name it.
I'm just kidding.
Don't look it up.
Just kidding. I didn't mean to cast slander or libel. Yes. All right, folks. Poll is live. Make sure you cast your vote. We want to hear your voice. We all know who's going to win this one today. So it starts with an R. Voting begins now. Let's go. Go for the DAO-based project, folks. Vote now. You got 30 seconds. 20 people have voted so far. And what was that, Adrian? Rarible's winning. 90% of the votes are going for Rarible. So, folks, it's a close race. Make sure you're voting. All right, I'll give everyone one closing thought. You get 2 sentences, and then we got to move on to Markets Pro so that nobody becomes a Markets Joe during this period. Jordan, 2 sentences. Sam, I'll give you 2 sentences to try to pitch the audience one last time on your project. 2 sentences. Ready, go. Jordan.
You got a big community, video streaming and music, and lots of promise in the future. Got governance coming up and decentralized community in the works. So
that was 3 sentences. That was 3 sentences.
No, I didn't put a period on the comment.
All I heard was lots of promises. That's all I heard. Lots of promises.
All I'm going to say to everyone watching is, do you really want to bet against Solana again? You missed the first time, the first year-long pump. Don't miss it again. Don't miss what's going on with Solanart. That's all I'm saying.
Just DAO it, folks. Just DAO it. Make sure you vote Rarible. That's all I got to say. All right. Looks like, is it ThetaDrop's up 72% right now. Rarible coming in hot, 18%. Solanart, at 10%. We got 1 minute to go on the poll. Let's go ahead and jump into Markets Pro. We're going to give you the 2 coins that moved this week and walk you through what happened. So, Danilo, let's go ahead and jump into Markets Pro. All right, folks, it is Newsquakes for Anchor Protocol. If you were able to catch that Newsquake, you were probably able to spot Anchor Protocol. So Newsquakes are what move the crypto market. Newsquake, serviced by CT Markets Pro, helps traders stay on top of important events and developments. Newsquakes are automated alerts that instantly notify users when market-moving events happen. This week, we saw a listing on Binance for Anchor Protocol. Anytime we're seeing listings on Binance, it will most likely pump a token's price according to historical data. So ANC's price spiked almost vertically following the announcement. Token traded at 157 the minute the news came out. And within the next 6 hours, that soared to 186. That's an 18.4% increase. Holy smokes. I wish I was on top of that trade. I was sleeping this week and I didn't catch Anchor Protocol. This was Jordan's project last week on the show. So love to see that stuff. The other token we watched this week was Akash Network, trading under the ticker AKT. Now we're going to get into the Vortex score. Vortex score is a comparison between its current market and social conditions to those in the past. Over the last week, indicators of historically bullish conditions lit up for Akash Network twice. So this is a double whammy this week. And so a Vortex score of 80 was registered against the price at $2.09 on January 19th. So Danilo, if you wouldn't mind pulling up the chart here. When you look on the chart, that first red circle, 10 hours later, AKT's price began to climb, adding 10%, hitting $2.30 the next day. AKT's strong Vortex score came on January 22nd, when much of the altcoin market had still been in free fall. So what happened 40 hours later after the peak score of 89, it became one of the best performing assets from January 24th to the 25th, as it rose from $1.57 to $1.82, while most of the alt market was still bleeding. It was a bad week for crypto, but not for Akash Network. So don't forget to drop your comments. And why don't we do this while we're at it? Drop your Twitter handles in the chat. We are going to select a winner 1 month subscription to this platform, Markets Pro. Make sure you drop your Twitter handles in the chat. We're going to pick them at the end of the show. And so if you also just want to get on the platform now, we have a 20% discount in the description. So like and subscribe our page so that you get this chance every week. We're giving away 1 month every single week. That's the cool part about Markets Pro. And the cool part about the market report. All right, folks. Adrian, looks like
before you come out with the results, I think we need to audit that. I don't think that if you add up the numbers, it goes to 100%. Somebody's stealing that. The numbers.
Well, we had 46 total votes today.
It goes to
46. Was it 46,000 votes?
The winner got too much votes. The winner got too much votes.
No, the winner won. That's what happened.
Manipulation going on here. I know that. It's
Don't be hating that I got the best marketplace, guys. I mean, come on. It's actually connected to the whole ecosystem, not just I'm on Solana or I'm on Tezos. No, there's actually like a whole ecosystem behind it. Gosh, come on.
You had ThetaDrop do some guerrilla marketing this week on Twitter.
Exactly,
I saw like about 1,000. Yeah, 1,000.
No, they didn't have to do guerrilla marketing. They just said we're going to be talking about ThetaDrop, and the people were like, "Yeah, that's what we want." Woo! I saw you, Sam.
Well, congratulations.
I saw you in our community, and you got like
71% of the votes. Theta.
71% of the viewers today. Yeah. All right. Congratulations to Jordan and ThetaDrop. The community showed up today for ThetaDrop. We appreciate all the other fans for Rarible and Solanart who also showed up today and showed their support for this person. This is not sponsored content. Closing thoughts. Jordan, I will give you the champion's floor for your closing thoughts first today so that you can take it away here. Go ahead.
Crypto's been crypto this last couple weeks. I mean, like, man, ever since I got into crypto, like 2017, up and then down. So I know it's been gotten a little crazy. Market's pulling back, but I'm like, this is just crypto. So yeah, like nothing's changed long-term, folks. Just relax, deep breath. We're all headed to the promised land. It might just take a little longer than we thought, but it's all good.
Very good. All right, do we want to pick a winner here for the Markets Pro subscription? Who is I think William, what's his name? I saw him chiming in like all day. William Lotta. Did he drop his Twitter handle in chat?
I don't see any Twitter handles.
Folks, we got to get your Twitter handles. Race to drop your Twitter handle in the chat. First person may or may not win the 1-1 subscription of Markets Pro. Ready, set, go. Now. Now's the time. William,
drop your handle.
Yeah, drop it in there, man.
William Lotta, if you want the CT Markets Pro subscription, give us your Twitter handle.
Drop it in chat. We're going to DM you on Twitter.
No necesitas.
No handle. He doesn't need that. Everyone needs
the biggest question here is who fared better? NFT investors over the past couple of months or crypto investors? That's a good question.
Well, crypto investors.
Maybe we should answer that on next week's show.
Down 50%?
Have you seen some of those NFTs? Woo.
All right. Looks like we got Slice of Crypto. Slice Cryptos. I'm going to pick you as our winner today. Slice Cryptos drop their Twitter. It's just that easy, folks. It's just that easy. You just drop your Twitter handle and we'll just get poof. 1 month subscription Markets Pro in your pocket. Love it. We appreciate everyone tuning in today. Like and subscribe. Cointelegraph on YouTube, Tuesdays, 12 p.m. The market report. We love you all. We appreciate you jumping in today. Stay tuned for next week's show. We're going to have a hot debate, and we're going to answer some of those burning questions that you can't get answered anywhere else on the internet. We love you. Thank you all for tuning in today. This has been the market report. Until next time, take it easy.
See you guys.